Hello, good morning, everyone. I am going now to discuss the principles and views of human nature. By Neil E. Myler and John Dollard. Who are they? Neil E. Myler is an American psychologist born on August 3, 1909 in Milwaukee, United States. Died on March 23, 2002. Known for biofeedback frustrations aggression hypothesis. Then John Dollard, born on August 19, 1900 in Menasha, Wisconsin, United States. Died on October 8, 1980. Dollard was a sociologist with strong interest in anthropology. Dollard and Myler collaborated on three books in which they attempted to apply Hull's principles of learning theory to Freudian psychoanalysis. Frustrations and Aggression, Dollard, Bob, Myler, Maurer, and Sears, 1939. Social Learning and Imitation, Myler and Dollard, 1941. And Personality and Psychotherapy, Dollard and Myler, 1950. Like Hull before them, Dollard and Myler emphasizes drives and habits. So what are the two concepts are that Myler and Dollard best known for? Like Hull before them, Dollard and Myler emphasized drives and habits. They also addressed theoretical differences in the strengths of reinforcers and punishers, and they equated Freud's concept of displacement to the behavioral concept of generalization. They also addressed theoretical differences in the strengths of reinforcers and punishers, and they equated Freud's concept of displacement to the behavioral concept of generalization, rather than considering psychoanalysis and behaviorism as fundamentally opposed, as Skinner had Dollard and Myler allowed for a synthesis of these two major schools of psychology. Their vision led to influential and popular perspectives. Bauer and Hilgard 1981, London 97, Stagner. So that is Dollard and Myler. Dollard and Myler and their colleagues believe that the relationship between frustration and aggression is absolute. In other words, aggression is always the result of frustration. So they believe that aggression is always the result of frustration. Equally true, but not always as obvious, is the fact that frustration always leads to some form of aggression. While it may appear that some people very quickly accept situations in which they do not get their own way, they are frustrated. It is also true that we learn early in life to restrain our aggressive impulses. We may then aggressively respond after some delay or towards some other target, but there will eventually be an aggressive response as a result of the initial frustration. Dollard, 1939. In addition, such aggression does not have to involve active responses, since passive aggressive behavior is all too common. Indeed, a passive aggressive personality disorder, identified by Theodore Millon as the negativistic personality disorder. Aggre- Aggression comes in many forms, and Dollard, Marler, and their colleagues address a widely variety of social factors, including child and adolescent development, criminality, differences between democracy, fascism, and communism, and the nature of aggression amongst The Ashanti. The Ashanti are a West African tribal people who were considered powerful and warlike. Their fierceness in intertribal battle was said to strike terror into their enemies. There are three types of conflict. Number one is the approach conflicts. The individual must make a choice between two rewarding stimuli, such as having ice cream or cookies for dessert. This type of conflict is easily resolved, since one reward is likely to be more inviting. Perhaps you haven't had ice cream for a while. Secondly, a much more difficult situation is an approach avoidance conflict. In this situation, from a distance, the rewarding aspect of the stimulus is stronger, so we approach the stimulus as we approach. However, the drive to avoid the stimulus grows rapidly until we move away. For example, when an abusive parent tries to comfort a child, something an abused child cannot trust, there is a drive to move toward the parents for comfort, approach, as well as a drive to avoid further abuse avoidance. Finally, we have avoidance conflicts, where both of our choices will result in punishment. For example, if a child has misbehaved and their parents is going to punish them, the natural response is to run away. With children, the situations can be very easy to observe. However, many parents will then yell, "Don't you dare run away from me." Now the child must choose between being punished, avoidance, or running away and being punished, worse, avoidance. In the situations, the typical response is to freeze and make no choice at all. The child may still be punished, but they will not have chosen the punishment. Okay, so we are now going to tackle about the drive, cues, response, and reinforcement or the reward. Number one, what is drive? Drive is an innate internal state which leads to goal-directed behavior aimed at reducing the drive. So this is a continuation of the theories of the two psychologists, Myler and Dollard. Then, okay, as they said, the drive is an innate eternal state which leads to goal-directed behavior aimed at reducing the drive. So, Q, any stimulus in the environment that either triggers a drive or determines the nature and directions of the goal-directed behavior. Then the response, the behavior of the individual who is guided by the cue towards reducing the drive by attaining a goal in the appropriate direction. Again, the behavior of the individual who is guided by the cue towards reducing the drive by attaining a goal in the appropriate directions. Then the reward, the reinforcement attained after reaching the goal, drive reduction. It is the reinforcement attained after reaching the goal, drive reduction. In their own words, in order to learn, one must want something, notice something, do something, and get something. Stated more exactly, these factors are drive, cue, response, and reward. So, they explain that in order for us to learn, we must want something. So that is the state exactly one of the factors of drive. Then notice something, the good, do something, response, and get something, and the reward. According to this theorist, we are born with a set of innate needs for food, water, oxygen, and warmth, to name but a few. We would have died if these needs had not been satisfied during our early life. Yet now we can perform the necessary responses to obtain them ourselves. Obviously, although the needs may be inherited, the responses to meet them are learned. So we must learn in order for us to receive the response. And that's all the uh, theories of the two psychologists, uh, Neil E. Myler and John Dollard. And uh, they are best known for emphasizing the drives and habits. They also address theoretical differences in the strength of reinforcers and punishers. And they equated fruits concept as displacement to behavioral concept of generalization. Thank you for listening and good day.